How are you?
Good, you.
Good.
Bless your heart.
You're welcome. No, you're on point.
Oh, thank you.
For sure, for sure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Did very good.
got time coming in. I know. Hey. Good to see you. I think somebody's sitting right there. There is right here. All right. Look. Barbara knows me. Come on, Barbara. I mean, you can sit up front. She's trying to sit in the back.
I'm gonna stop front with me. I'm lovely.
Oh, we're done. You're ready.
Oh, yes, ma'am. If they go there, there's a couple seats open right now. Is that full of metal? That's what we need. We're just full.
Woo! Here we come to the second part. Y'all good? Yes. Y'all still here? I want to see who stayed and who left and who came back. Just checking. Musical chairs. Bring it on in. Bring it on in. Bring it on in. I miss someone. I'd like to see who came back, who left. We good? Okay, so, well, I think TJ is going to, y'all like t-shirts? Yeah. I like t-shirts too. So, on the back of one of the chairs, it has the word bunker, but it's upside down. Can y'all check the back of your chair and see who got the word that says bunker, but it's upside down? It has to be upside down. It's only if it's upside down.
That's you.
Cause who got the chair? You got it in the back of your chair upside down? Oh, you got a bunker shirt! Yay! It will not be big enough for you to sleep in. I'm just saying, we don't give away big shirts. You got to, so that means you get to be a walking billboard for the bunker. So we'll make sure we get your shirt. Thank you guys so much. So our next story, because I like to keep it rolling and keep it excited and keep it going. So our next storyteller I just met, and I was honored to meet her, and we had just connected, and I was like, this is awesome. So our next storyteller is Beth. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me bring to the stage Beth. Lights, camera, action.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Beth, and this is the tale of two programs. So it all started with me buying 2 tickets to what I thought was a yoga retreat at Unity Village. It was I bought 2 tickets. I didn't know who was necessarily going to go with me, but it just sounded like a really good idea. Being around women, especially that are trying to work on themselves, there's just something about that vibe that I just love. And so I get there, and I knew that there was going to be some vendors and some speakers, and you know, this yoga. So I'm prepared to get my mind blown with all this feminine energy. I get there and I look around, and I'm the only one with a mat. There's chairs just like it is right now, lined up and ready for like a group setting, and I'm like, oh shit, like what do I do with this? So I just awkwardly stick it under my chair, and I'm looking around, and yeah, that happened. And so there were plenty of speakers there and lots of vendors there too. And there was one speaker who stuck out to me in particular, Dr. Rima Benario, and she introduced this concept to me about there being a maiden, a mother, a queen, and a crone. I don't know if you've heard, maiden, mother, crone is sort of what they refer to in women's lives as like the younger, the maiden, the mother, and the crone, more older with some sage wisdom. I never heard of the queen. I was like, what? I was an empty nester. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I identified as a mother, a wife, as a hairstylist, as an entrepreneur. But queen, tell me more. And so she talked to me about me and everyone there about this program about being sovereign in ourselves. And I was like, I want what she has. I really want what she has. And she did. She had a program. And I signed up for that program. And it was a big investment. It was a big investment for me for a lot of reasons, but it required my commitment, my time. It required me to participate, to interact. And in doing so, there was a chakra-based program that was, each chakra had a queen archetype that went with it. And so going through that was really, really a beautiful process. I've actually, in the process of doing it again. Well, in the middle of all of that, I'm trying to receive all of this divine wisdom. I've been struggling with alcohol for years. And I had always thought that I would try to manage it or try to control it. And, you know, I wouldn't call it a rock bottom, but I would definitely call it a spiritual awakening. And when I had that spiritual awakening, I had already been in a program at that time that has really helped me get in touch with these different energies in my body. And something happened that day. With that spiritual awakening, what happened that day was this energetic synchronicity that just exploded like through every being of me. And I knew I was going to be okay. And I felt so damn sovereign in myself. And I loved that. I loved every minute of that. So, going to the other program, figuring out that there is a power greater than myself, which I had been in touch with for so long. It was kind of like wearing your favorite sweater, and you got your favorite sweater on, and you're walking through the room, and you feel so comfortable, but it gets caught on everything you walk by. And damn it, that thing doesn't just have snags all over it, but it's still your favorite sweater. So when I got into the program of my recovery, we started working these things called steps. And there's so many cliches. It works if you work it. Hard to have an attitude with gratitude. And I'll be damned, every single one of those things is true. It sure does work if you work it. Not only that, but working these two programs together, I just felt like I was on fire. I felt like I was unstoppable. I feel like I am sovereign in myself. What is sovereign? What is sovereign? I got asked that a couple times. What does that mean? Sovereign. It means that I am the ultimate creator of myself. It means that I have full control over this vessel. When I get in touch with my higher self, who I like to really think about her as my favorite self. My favorite self is my higher self in touch, embodied with my present self all together as one. That's my favorite self. That's who I try to be all the time. And so both these programs have worked so well for me. And I've just been doing it. I've been doing it as a practice. With my Queen's Court, I get to use these Egyptian oils that are sacred, and the alchemy of it is just perfect because that's what I do for a living. I'm mixing color up in bowls and putting dreams and washing bad days down the sink. And here I am, like celebrating all of this, being present for all of this, and being, for the first time that I can remember, I feel comfortable in this body, in this vessel. And it is because I have the clarity that sobriety has given me to see who I am. I was scared of that before. I didn't feel safe in that vessel before. Now I do. Now I do. So the only catch to this is to share it. I have to share this. I have to share this with you and you and you and you to know that it is never too late to rebrand yourself. It is never too late to change your life. It is never too late to decide, I'm going to do something different. It is never too late to be a thread for the divine into the present self. And that is what we do. And that is how we do it. We share, we talk, we normalize it. We normalize it. I had every ism in my family, and it was just the way it was. Just the way it was. Well, lucky for me, I'm in a program that's reconditioning my brain and a whole way of thinking. It has allowed this download of divine information to just transcend and transmute through my body. From my root all the way up to the top of my crown chakra. I can feel it. Not only that, I just realized the other day, doing hair, I'm working with crown chakras all the time. Who knew? I mean, I knew I could make a difference in 2 hours or less, but now I know why. I mean, I will give it to the colorist for sure. Yeah, getting rid of those grays is always fantastic. But being able to talk to somebody and look at them and they connect with you, and you can look at them and say, you know what? You look damn good. So feel good. Yeah. Right? Look good, feel good. It's not fake it till you make it. Right. It's feel it till you make it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might have been the only one with a mat that day. And that's fine. Because I brought with me a crown. I brought a crown home that day. So that's my story.
Y'all wasn't ready for all this, was you? Y'all just thought it was gonna be puppets. You didn't realize it's gonna be the real deal, huh? Real deal. Well, there's one person I would love to recognize that's here. This woman calls me when I need her, and when she needs me, I'm there, and we counteract. We went to school together. And I think it's always an honor when one of your state representatives come to anything that you have that has to do with the arts. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me give an applause to Miss Barbara Washington. Give her a 7. She had a breast cancer event, and I was honored to be at that. So thank you, sister, so much for that, because I had an opportunity to pay it forward. I did a 10-10-10. I did 10 hearts in 10 days for 10 people. And I just wanted to pay it forward in honor of my first year as being a textile artist. And it was amazing. But it kind of set me back a little bit because there was one person that I needed to really give that heart to because someone called and says, I don't think she's gonna make it. And the hearts are supposed to go out the 1st of October to the 10th of October. So I had 10 days to do them for 10 people to assist them with healing. And when I got the phone call, I was really hurt and devastated because this person had died. And yeah, it's a story. You guys, you understand what I'm saying? It's a story. So I want to just say thank you to the person in the room that made the phone call. Thanks to the other person in the room that you were right there for your cousin, and I appreciate you wholeheartedly. So this shout out goes to my best friend, her sister, and a niece. And I want to tell you guys, I love you more than anything. And people fail to realize your heart is the most important thing. That's your music all day. The first thing the doctor told your mother before she found out she was pregnant is that there's a beat. So please take note of your music every day. So with that being said, yes. I'm trying to mess up my makeup and get emotional. This next guy, I love him dearly. He dresses to the occasion all the time. I mean, all the time. He's I don't even know. I don't even want to say his name, Tyrone. You know what I'm saying, Tyrone. Oh, well, let me clear it up. Please give it up to the man with the wooden woman. Oh, yeah. I have been knowing him for 6 years. When I first met him, I said, I want to do a program with you. I don't know what we're going to do. He said, well, let's just do it. So his name is Tyrone. Don't sing the Eric Purdue song. So he is the man with the wooden woman. And I always tell girls, if you're going to date a musician, date a man who knows how to hold an upright bass, baby. And he going to lay it down just right. He going to make it. You hear that? So when I do storytelling, I take him with me, and we do not rehearse, do we, Tyrone? We come off the cuff. So everybody he's accompanied today, that's coming off the cuff. That should show you just how powerful musicians are. So again, please leave a tip, no comments, and no requests for his music. I'm just playing. But he is for hire. Ain't that right, Tyrone?
Sure.
Okay, I just make sure I get $2. Okay, with that being said, I want to bring on the next storyteller because I'm excited about him, and he's just so cool. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me bring to the stage Mr. Todd. Lights, camera, action.
Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Let me see if I can lift this up, if I'm smart enough, and I'm not. Well, we proved that early on. I ask your forgiveness because of something I picked up a year or two ago. I don't have good recall, so I'm using a little bit of crib notes here. So I won't tell anyone if you don't. But I gotta ask. Turns out I'm a long hair, so I'm gonna ask music. Who here remembers 45s? 45s? Okay. I mean the old, the vinyl records, not the single stack gun, not the bang bang. But when I was a kid, I used to buy a lot of 45s, and I thought that the single that was on side A was the bomb. I thought it was what was going to be cool. But as I got a more sophisticated palate, or ear, as the case may be, I realized that the B-sides were usually more interesting and certainly more rewarding. Later, I moved to Florida, started a record store. It was successful. I know this because I got made fun of on Saturday Night Live. If you want to check it, it's called Goth Talk, Saturday Night Live. But when I was there, I learned, and I was actually selling records and things, I learned that the cool kids didn't call them 45s anymore. Anyone? You know what they call them now? 7-inchers. 7-inchers. Which is, I guess, how long or in diameter a 45 is. But, especially the hipster guys with the skinny jeans and the man bun and the hair down to here, they really liked 7-inchers. And I was kind of ornery. They would tromp into my store and say, we need this new 7-inch by Girls Against Boys or Guided by Voices. And I'd be like, I got it on 45. And they would say, I need a 7-incher. And I'm like, don't we all? But as I grew up, I outgrew 45s and 7-inchers alike. And life has taught me that usually when I'm looking for a great song, something entertaining and something that really hits me emotionally, it's almost never on side A. It's almost always on the flip side. And it turns out the flip side is where I've lived my life. I found that the first try I've ever had on anything is rarely successful. It took me about 4 years to talk my girlfriend into going out with me. And she still has second thoughts.
4 years later.
6, but who's counting? But what I've learned is you got to go through some adversity. And I think what we've learned here already tonight is adversity is more common than the common cold. I mean, adversity is something of some kind, is something that we all go through. And that's the thing about adversity. It's a real pain in the rear. A pain in the cou, if you pardon my French. And that's really French. I looked it up. And then spent an hour I should have spent practicing, just listening to the Google lady say, le cou. But in a long life of screw-ups that make me, and do-overs, and writing out the consequences of bad decisions, I can tell you this. The worst thing that has ever happened to me has taught me to be the best possible person in the world. Or the best possible person I can be. I'd like to think I was the best in the world, but it's the best person I can be. Even now, 10 years later, I thank God that I have multiple sclerosis. That's the problem with my head. It's the problem with my feet. I'm even scared to wear a hat because I fall at the drop of a hat. So wind will send me tumbling. But I have found that I'm a much nicer, better person, more empathetic. People that don't look like me, people that listen to crappy music, anyone, I'm better able to connect. My employers may disagree. I mean, they did fire me when I was at my sickest, but that's okay. I feel comfortable saying, screw my employer. My life now is better.
Yes.
Now, my father was a professional photographer. This man was good. He would go and take pictures of a wedding, and it's with one of those old-timey cameras that look like a xylophone. And he had 12 frames that he could shoot. He would slide in a slide, take a picture, and move. Well, and he would get 12 great pictures. Now, I take wedding pictures now. I much prefer the naked girls, but I take wedding pictures too, but I take 1,200 pictures, not 12. And then I edit them, and wow, there's some good shit. But Dad was an artisan. So maybe I'm not the best photographer in the world like my dad was, but you know what? After starting out on Dad's old Spotmatic, you guys shoot, his old Pentax Spotmatic film camera, I eventually developed skills to where I thought I would be a good photographer. And on the day after Christmas, I bundled together my Christmas money and all the credit cards that I had 5 or 10 cents open on, and I went down to the camera store, and I used every single bit of credit I had to buy my first professional camera. I was proud of myself. It was $4,000 that I'm still paying off. Now, this is the day after Christmas. This is Boxing Day, if you're Canadian, or it is the day you take shit back, if you're American. But driving home that day on Boxing Day, I had some good old gothic Christmas music on, and I was singing, so was my heart. I was happy. I almost made it home. About a mile from home, someone took an ice pick and stabbed me in both of my eyes, and then scrambled it around. Between 1 second and the next, I lost all my vision and traded it for a lot of pain. It was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt. While driving, in the snow, in traffic. Thankfully, I was on a surface street, so the speed limit was only 30, and I was only going 60. So I was able to pull off into a parking lot. And I laid my head down on my hands, and then I rubbed them, rubbed my eyes, sat back up. It was still black. It was snowy. It was white. It was cold. But the air was black. I couldn't see anything. I laid my head down on my steering wheel and cried. When Gesundheit. Oh, yeah, it's okay, I've lost it. But anyway, so this happened. 30 minutes later, I got enough vision back, about 30% in this and 60% in this, to drive home. There, I waited for a couple days because, you know, neurologists don't hang out at the hospital on Christmas, it turns out. So I went to a succession of, you know, IV doctors and then pet doctors, and then I just kept moving on up till I finally got a diagnosis. I got a neurologist who gave me a spinal tap, which sucks, but actually isn't as bad as, you know, getting poked in the eye with an ice pick. But I got that, and I got the diagnosis of MS. Now, I was 39 at the time, which is old for getting MS. And I'm a guy, it turns out. I'm a guy, which is also unusual. It's mostly a disease who hit women. But I figured, well, I'll go for it. What the heck? Since then, I have worked for the National MS Society. I have spoken before our legislature on behalf of Medicaid expansion. And I lost my job, my house, my wife, and I had to rehome all my pets. And I'm a cat guy. I'm a cat guy. I had to rehome the pets. And you know what? I wouldn't do it any different. Because I gained a bigger world. Because I know how it feels to not be able to read the grocery aisle. I know how it feels to be scared to drive. Or to be driving and forget not only where I'm going, but who I am. But the fact is, adversity is something that we all go through. It's how we choose to go through it.
That's good.
And together, and opening up to one another, makes it easier. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's my story. Now, and I promise I'll shut up real quick here, but I have the distinct honor to introduce our last speaker for the night. And this is a woman who I've only known for just a little while, but she is brilliant and passionate and so smart and so creative. And she has a story for you that I think will really touch you. Everyone, let's give it up for Karen. Let's do a 777 welcome with lights, camera, action. There it is.
May I get permission from an elder to speak? That means somebody old in the room say permission granted. So I'm going to say it again. May I obtain permission from an elder to speak?
Permission granted.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lewis. I met this young lady and I decided I wanted to do a story about her, because I heard about the artwork that she did. And I said, well, let me do my research so I can learn more about her. And she said, well, meet me over at the Black Archives. That's where I'm going to host my very first textile exhibition. I'm like, are you serious? She says, yeah, but you got to come on the night that I'm doing the opening with my family, because I'm getting my family's blessing first before I even open it up to the public. Well, I felt honored to have the opportunity to see an opening of an exhibition before the public sees it. Wow, that's. Whew. I said, well, what time do you need me to be there? She said, if anything, show up about 5 so you can just see me as I move and get everything together. So I arrived and I walked in and I saw her getting everything all lined up because she did a virtual tour. You see, because her uncle couldn't make it because he was in California, her aunt and her cousin. And then she had another cousin that lived in Arizona, and he brought his 2 daughters in too. And her sister lived in Texas. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool to have your family just to get their blessings before you open the door. And as all artists know, if your family is there, it's like, yes. My family, I care less about my family's here. So as I walk in, I see she has her laptop ready to go. She has the lights dimmed just right. And as I'm walking in, I'm thinking, this is amazing. So as I walk in, I notice she has this clothesline that's hanging up. She's got a green paisley dress, a pair of khaki pants, some brown socks, and a green plaid shirt. And I asked her, I said, well, why is all this coordinated? She said, hey, everybody got to know that she with him, him with her. You see, especially if they run and free slaves, they got to run and get clean clothes. See, clean clothes on the line for slaves just wasn't clean clothes. You had to get those clean clothes, get that scent off of you so the evil eye wouldn't catch you. So I'm looking at this exhibition and I'm thinking, this is amazing. I said, but tell me why you got these posts and you got this rope and you got these buckets, you got these clothespins. She said, well, the whole exhibit depicts lynching. You know, strange fruit. It talks about lynching. And I noticed none of her art pieces were really on the wall. They were all on ropes with clothespins. I'm thinking, this is amazing. So as her family was chiming in, because I'm getting all the goods, you know, before the family, they was chiming in. And her uncle's excited to be there, and he says, baby girl, this is nice. I've never seen anything like this. This is amazing. He says, I noticed you got that cotton in your exhibition. She said, yes, sir. Because my grandmother picked cotton. He said, I know you got a tape measure too. She said, yes, sir. My mother measured cotton. And she says, just to let you know, I'm creating with cotton. He says, well, baby, let me share you a story about that cotton that you got in your exhibition there. So when you tell the story, you can share it a little bit more and hopefully people will understand what you're saying. You see, my mother picked cotton in that hot, white-ass cotton field. And at the time she was picking cotton, she had 2 miscarriages. She lost 4 boys in that hot-ass cotton field. And as I'm looking at him, connecting to her, she's like, wait, what did you just say? He said, yeah, my mama lost 4 twin boys, 2 sets, picking cotton in that cotton field. And let me tell you about that tape measure, sweetheart. That tape measure you got, if I'm not mistaken, that's the exact same tape measure that your mama used to sew my clothes. She says, hey, uncle, come on now. Come on, you're giving me too much. He says, but if you're going to be an artist, you got to tell the story. He said, so not everybody want to hear what you got to say, but as an artist, they'll see what you said, and they'll appreciate it because they'll connect a little bit better. You see, when I understood what he was telling his nieces, he was telling her, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're right where you're supposed to do, right where you're supposed to be. See, imagine this. Imagine this Negro woman picking cotton in a white, hot-ass cotton field. And imagine a colored woman measuring cotton to sew garments for people to wear. And he says, baby, guess what? Now you're creating with cotton. I said, wow. Wow. As I'm listening to him tell his niece this story, I said, man, this is amazing. I said, E, I hope you heard everything that he just told you, because you're right where you're supposed to be in your right time. I said, E, guess what? I said, 2020 was your year of vision. See, people forgot all about what 2020 is. It was your year of vision. So you can see what you was going to do in 2021. Y'all didn't hear what I said, did you? We totally overlooked 2020 because we were so damn afraid of what was going on. So we didn't prepare ourselves for our vision of what we're going to see in 2021. You see, I am the granddaughter of the Negro woman picking cotton in that white, hot-ass cotton field. I am the daughter of the woman who was measuring cotton. I am the Afro-American female who is a textile and performing artist. My name is Karen E. Griffin. I am Arts by E. Lewis. I'm a creative, proactive, transformative individual that assists others with releasing pain to gain strength. Yeah. I am a textile and performing artist. I just started pretty much yesterday. No. I do a reenactment of Zora Neale Hurston. I do a reenactment of Betsy Coleman, and I do an enactment of Ida B. Wells Burnett, and it's deep. The one I do of Ida B. Wells Burnett depicts lynching, and it talks about her journey and how she just pretty much wanted to stop lynching. So, with that being said, can I get Todd, Heather, Beth, Christy, even though Christy didn't get a chance to come on up here, Christy. Where's Darlene? Where's the baby boy at? Where's Abby? Yeah, there's Abby. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you please give these storytellers a round of applause? Woo! Oh, Mel, where's Mel? microphone. I just have to tell y'all, we have worked extremely hard to put this together because who's this their very first time? Okay. This is their very first time.
Great.
And I wasn't going to tell y'all it was their first time because they would have gone, I can't do this shit. So this is their very first time. And I explained to them, you're going to have an out-of-body experience. And it will kick in. So what I would like to do is open up the door to all of you as well to tell your story. It's going to help you release some pain to gain strength. Because I guarantee you, one of these stories assisted somebody. Yes. One of these stories fed somebody in this room. And we all have a story. I don't care if you're 3 years old and you talk about color on the walls, or if you, my age. 25 plus 25 plus 4. Sexy. Right. Sexy.
Amen.
But I want to tell you guys, thank you so much. Please come join the bunker every first Friday. You can go to Abby's studio. You can go to Beth's studio. You can go Phoenix. Phoenix has a studio. Again, you can't come to mine. But I want to tell you guys, thank you so much. Please go at us, the bunker, come back. And if anybody wants to do a story, just, who wants to take the road? If anybody would like to, feel free to share a story. Just hit me up before you go, and I will get your name, email, and I will love for you. Because our plan is to do it every second Saturday. That's why I'm not in charge. Because I'm fuck shit up. So every second Saturday, that's the plan. As you see, we start at 7. It says 7 at 7. I mean, we may go over, but I believe in starting on time. I mean, you ain't born on time and you don't die on time, but you might as well live your life on time. I'm just saying. So I want to tell you guys thank you so much, and we appreciate you. So please feel free to explore the gallery. And somebody we gotta give a shirt too, right? Okay, make sure you see Todd.
Yes.
No, we'll give it to you. But again, give them a round of applause. Okay, bye. Y'all go home. Feel free to chat. Do me a favor. Can y'all say hi to somebody you didn't come with? Can y'all do me a favor? Let's say hi to somebody you didn't come with. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, just say hi. That's how you do it. Hi. And just like
Bueno, con todo, siempre no podía. Vamos a saludar al hermano que está al lado, que no se hablaba.
Yo pensé que tenía un nombre atrás.
When I saw you, I was like, no, I'm paying this forward. So that's
That's what it is. Suicide shirt.